Hi, I'm Leah Umansky. I'm really happy to be a part of the Hard Hat reading series for Poets House, and I'm going to read some poems for you. Poets House is one of my favorite places in the world, and I can't wait for it to reopen, and I love taking students there, so I'm really looking forward to it. I'm going to start with a poem by a poet I deeply admire, who has a huge influence on my work, named Marie Howe. This is a poem that came out, I think, last year in the New Yorker called The Letter 1968. And what I love about this poem is really what I love about poetry and why I love teaching poetry is that it's very accessible and it's very easy to follow. And it's also just one of those kind of gems that really connects people. So this is called The Letter 1968. That he wrote it with his hand and folded the paper and slipped it into the envelope and sealed it with his tongue and pressed it closed so I might open it with my fingers. That he brought it to the box and slipped it through the slot so that it might be carried through time and weather to where I waited on the front porch step. We knew how to wait then. It was what life was, much of it. So when the mailman came up the walk and didn't have it, he might have it the next day or the next, when it bore the mark of his hand who had written my name, so I might open it and read it again and then again, and look at the envelope he'd sealed and press my mouth to where his mouth had been. Isn't that great? I love that poem. All right. So let me bring this up. This next poem is called Gasp, and it's from my upcoming collection of TYRANT, which is going to be out in 2024 with WordWorks. It's a collection of poems about politics and about toxic masculinity. Gasp. Step into this suffering. It is a stroke away from light. It is a stroke away from horror. This claim is a forward regime. Step into this smoldering. Step into the smolder. Carry relief. Carry resistance. Carry tragedy. Carry this tragedy. Step into the gash. Step into his hubris. This is not a choir. I will not sing. Step into the masses. Hear them. At one point, the fall from fear felt terrific, but terror is akin to grace. Both leave us gasping. Now we police. Now we lure ourselves to fight, to resist, to chant. I said I wouldn't sing, but I do. Inside. Inside, my gasp is an idealized prayer. I don't know what my gasp does. I feel exiled in dream, exiled in hate, exiled in polarity, and returned to the past. I feel a part of the generous now gone, but my spark is generous. It is a way, but also light years ahead. And still, we could go up in smoke, swallowed in horror, in revolution, in revolt. We dilemma, we plea. It is not a wrong way, but step into his famine. Step into his heart. It is a step away from murder. All that gasping is for the ministry. Why is this feed so powerful? Use these gasps as vows, except when we can't. This step is a root. This step is a purge. This step is a struggle of ends. Justify the means. His heart is a dull stud. Is in my study. Is a study away from tyranny. I'm putting this in the center. I am not even sure if you're afraid. You could sense the tyranny in that one. And I'm going to read one more poem, which is from a new collection I'm currently working on that doesn't have a title yet, but it's really a collection about wonder and about attention and noticing the joy and the wonder in the world around you. This is a poem called Poem with a Line from Ada Limon that was published in a UK magazine last year called 14 magazine. And it's obviously inspired by our poet laureate, Ada Limon. Poem with a Line from Ada Limon. I spent a year of my life oversaturated, a creative act based in survival, a reckoning. How can you listen to the world if we're always talking about the world? Let me start again. The world will align for you if you look. Can you see it? I try to unsee some of it, but I am bad at unseeing. I am good at risk, being brave, and at doing the right thing. Put yourself first, I tell a friend. I practice what I preach. And what is your life for, if not for practicing, listening, living? The day is made up of hands. Hold them. Thank you so much.